Welcome to 10.8. 10.8 is a more personal and journal-style series of articles by myself that will center around police management, criminology, and policing. The articles will not be the typical citation-driven essay style that I use. For those articles, please see my Medium page, published books such as Amazon, especially The Business of Policing, Volume 1, Crimes and Punishments in the 21st Century, or scientific published literature highlighted by The Business of Policing, Volume 2, Managing Ethical Police Conduct. Here I will post frequent thought streams on my personal philosophies. Thanks for listening in. Investigating a Trump MAGA rally. Granted, it was a long time ago, but if anyone knows my name, it is most likely because of my involvement with the early stages of Black Lives Matter and the veteran movement supporting the Standing Rock No Dapple protest. Millions upon millions of people have listened to me, from Joe Rogan podcasts to university speeches to published literature. From Baltimore streets as a detective and commander, I had firsthand observations confirming some of the points Black Lives Matter was making then. I had to stand up against the denial of these issues: environmental poisoning, excessive policing, lack of officer training, and internal issues such as promotion and discipline. I was deeply affected that my profession could be so inept as to conduct themselves the way they did in killing Tamir Rice. Heck, I was an original and founding member of Resist. I held these positions because I did not sit and observe from a couch. I spent my days on the streets and with real people. Nearly all of my complaints remain true, but these movements have strayed far away from any of their original meanings and intents. As I am always forced to remind people, all of this started under Obama. Everything I did and everything horrible about policing during this movement came to its pinnacle with that administration and centered around the evil of the crime bill and the echoes of Democrat racism. It was Barack Obama's administration who oversaw the Dapple protests enact state violence for oil profits. After I got thousands of veterans up there to make a stand, it was Barack Obama who demonstrated indifference to the land rights, religious, and environmental protest, all while paying no care to the oppression of the Standing Rock Sioux. He stated to just see how it all plays out. Trying to get to the truth of the matter does not sit well with people. I'm nearly positive that most of you reading this are thinking, what idiot left-wing argument am I getting to? And many of you are thinking about what idiot right-wing idea I am getting to. You are both allowing prejudice to blind you. Getting to the truth of the matter is what I do. You all bring your politics into it. I am a detective. I am a scientist. I am a scholar. I do not care about your ideological tribes. I know many have tired of me speaking about it, but it is true. I have been all over this country in the last 5 years, and it did not take long to see that the narrative surrounding Trump was very incorrect. As I watched the left become overtly racist and oppressive. Well, allow me a quick side note, please. I spent years trying to get this concept to be understood, but I failed. I mean the concept of overt racism from the left. A simple explanation is that they believe in this list of oppression. I have referred to it as the Victim Olympics. Sticking with that metaphor, in these Olympics, there's an unofficial list of oppression and victim status. For example, if you are a straight black male, the only oppression point you get is being black. If you are gay, black, male, and dark-skinned, you get 3 oppression points. Suppose you identify as a trans, non-binary, pansexual, black female, non-English speaking, undocumented immigrant. In that case, you are somewhere near the top of the list. You might just get a gold medal. Now, here is the glaring problem with this type of anti-racist or anti-oppression thinking. You see, this list of victim status classifies people into groups and ranks the value of those groups. Simplifying this list to just races, it would look something like this: descendants of slaves, Black American, African American, brown from the Middle East, brown Hispanic, Asian, and then white. If you just reverse the order, you make Hitler proud. Then it's white, Asian, brown Hispanic, brown from the Middle East, African American, Black American, descendants of slaves. If you rank 10 people in a top 10 people list, flipping it around to a worst 10 people list is the same list. This list of oppression is the list of superiority. You are literally white supremacist. Any of you that believe in this list of oppression, you are racist. The mirror image of Hitler is still Hitler. Now, back to the main article. I had been traveling around the country and found strong right-wing support of Trump that shunned racism, wanted international peace, and even had an open ear to the policing issues I remain so adamant about. I have been seeking to see more of the inside and understand the apparently new Republican Party. Trump was moving the party to a rational left. On October 5th, 2020, I was finally able to make it to a Trump event. I had long been wanting to see firsthand what one was like. Sure, I see things on media like everyone else, but I have long known to never trust something that you are not experiencing. In 2016 and 2018, I tried to make it to a Trump rally where he was actually in attendance and speaking, but the media lied to me then. I was very early, but I still could not get inside the event because there were so many people. Yes, this happened twice. I know I should have learned the first time. I just did not think in a non-campaign or election event that there would be so many people. Well, anyway, this time I got it. I think that had a lot to do with it being a public event with limitless space. The highest caliber speaker, Senator Martha McSally, was forced to cancel to travel for the Supreme Court justice confirmation. There are two things that the Trump rally reminded me of. First, it felt a lot like a Bernie rally in 2016, except there was no blue hair, blue check marks, or blue lights, and there was zero media present. Secondly, there was optimism and excitement that I can only compare to a White Stripes concert. There were women, Latinos, blacks, and everyone for Trump. And everyone was treated pretty much the same. I say pretty much because the minorities at the Trump event are given slightly more attention. They are welcomed in with open arms. Trump supporters want minorities involved. Don't believe me? Go see for yourself and film it. The difference is profound. I really began to have my doubts about the modern left when at the original Women's March in D.C., I watched as conservative and pro-life women were harassed and vilified. That certainly did not seem pro-women to me. The ideology, the religion was coming through, and it was immediately gross. I could see the pathway for the first time. In retrospect, I should have seen it earlier. For example, when attending a counter-Confederate protest, a few brown-skinned people were on the Confederate side, and violence began to be enacted on them. Still, no one from their side got aggressive. The Trump caravan rally was excited, hopeful, and patriotic. The messages were to create prosperity and opportunity for all, and to keep out the elements and ideas that threaten America. You can disagree with their conclusions all you want, but you cannot honestly argue with their intent. The same is true of the president. Quite literally, nothing happened other than a celebration of American promise and capability. Meanwhile, the media, even local media, whom I remind you was not in attendance, intentionally misreports the story. They call these events super spreaders. They claim rude behavior and criminal driving. They claim all sorts of flat-out lies. I see our neighbors in cahoots with them as they launch their own series of insults and falsehoods in the comment sections. A millionaire black athlete driving a Ferrari was hurling insults at the participants. I guess because he felt so oppressed? I don't know. This feels so weird to me. But I must say, standing up for Trump supporters feels precisely the same as standing up for Freddie Gray. The Dukes of Hazzards and the militant blacks have always been coming from the same place. Who the hell are these crazy white liberals keeping us apart? And why have Malcolm X's warnings about them invaded understanding? Well, thank you for making it this far, and keep here. Keep tuned. Stay tuned. That's the word. Stay tuned. Here is the video of the I made of the event, and see for yourself what you see.